Hi everyone, Tirza Schaefer here once again, and I would like to introduce you to another book now, which is A Magical Family Holiday. That's what it looks like there. And that is on special promotion as well at the moment for 99 cents. And you can see the link in the description of the video, so you can just click on it and get it if you like what I'm reading to you now. So how it started, it was I was going on a holiday with my mum and my two daughters. My dad went sailing with my son at the same time, so the four of us, that was like a 3-generation powerful women holiday kind of thing. And we went into the Eifel Mountains, which is in Western Germany. Absolutely lovely. And we had this little house there with no Wi-Fi and nothing. And I didn't have a phone with internet reception at the time either. So I was completely off the grid, basically. And my friends told me, they said, oh, please write everything down that you're experiencing, because I told them about going to ancient castles and things, stuff we had planned. So I faithfully typed up everything every night that we've done during the day. And when I sent it to them, once I was back from the holiday, they said, oh, you've got to make a video, a book out of it. And so I did. And here it is. I'm going to read the first chapter to you, which is day 1, Saturday. The River Moselle, a magical garden, and a moo coo. We've driven from our hometown near Cologne, where the River Rhine has inspired even the ancient Romans to settle 2.5 hours to a small village in the Eifel Mountains. It's a relatively small and low mountain range, but it is sunny with lots of wine up the steep hills on either side of the much smaller River Moselle. The village consists of about 50 houses, mostly Tudor cottages and houses, many streets laid out in cobblestones. To say it is idyllic is an understatement. No matter into which courtyard you look, there are flower pots, statues, and benches, all decorated with so much love it is practically oozing from every corner. This is a place where you let your soul rest, take a deep breath, and feel the power of the present moment. Time stands still. Only the sweat is running in this heated afternoon. Every 20 minutes a car passes on the main road, which is about as wide as our little side alley in which we live at home in Germany. Streets weren't built for big cars and trucks here. There wasn't any of that around in medieval times. Around the corner, 2 horses stand side by side, dozing. They don't touch, but they stand close to each other, one facing right, the other left. You can feel their connection as you drive past slowly. The term twin flames comes to mind without conscious reflection. They feel like one unit, and not only because of the close proximity of their physical bodies. They are one and at peace. The street in which my mother's friend's house stands winds up the hill. We park the car, walk along a hedge, and suddenly my mother disappears in it. I nearly walk past until I see an ancient rusty garden gate, the size of a door, nearly overgrown. So this is the garden. I find myself in a temple of fairies and elves. The magic hits you with such force that you have to draw in your breath. It is almost palpable. I think of my friend India in the UK and how she would love this. Cat statues are more or less hidden, benches, 3 garden tables, 2 small, 1 large, the latter in an alcove near the front door. Yes, the front door leads into the garden. It is enchantment in its purest form. On both sides of the garden are houses, the main one where we are staying and a smaller which a friend has rented as a weekend retreat. On the far side of the garden is a high wall as tall as the roof of the first story. And to my surprise, the ground floor ceiling is quite high. As we walk into the house, we are transported into another time. I'm sure this door is a portal to at least 200 years previously. To the left is the kitchen, which leads back towards the front into the dining room. To the right are bathroom, including washing machine and dishwasher and toilet, as well as a door behind which is the stairs into the basement. Some of the walls are plastered, but the outside one at the back is pure stone. I'm in love with the wall. I run my hands over it, appreciate the warm, rough feel of the irregular pieces sticking out from old mortar. I can just about stop myself from kissing it. Somehow these stones feel like love. On the first floor is the master bedroom, to the right. It is the one my mother's friend and her husband use. Straight on from the stairs is a small room with a single bed. It is where Tajani sleeps. Turning right from there, you come into another bedroom with 2 single beds. My mother and Tarini will sleep there. They both like to go to bed relatively early, and the room under the attic is quite hot in this weather. There is also a little desk at which Tarini can write, draw, and play in case of bad weather. The heat is dry, so I don't think there's a thunderstorm brewing anywhere near or soon. We can live in the garden when we're not on outings. I go through an ancient wooden door, which looks more like a barn door, and climb the stairs to the attic. I remind myself to remember that the steps aren't even. They are wooden and well-worn, often curved in the middle from wear over perhaps centuries. And then I stand in a room which is large, newly renovated without losing its period charm, with a sofa bed, a couch table, and a few seats, and small tables dotted around the room. There's also an old vitrine cupboard with crockery and glasses in it. A small TV and a DVD player round off the experience, apart from one thing. Just this morning I have been writing how much I would love to own a rocking chair. I've never been in the southern states of the US, Los Angeles excluded, but from movies I have fallen in love with these porches they have, with a large swing and a rocking chair on it. I've always loved this. And now I come up the stairs, on the very left of it stands, you guessed it, a rocking chair. I sit down in it and I'm in personal Tirza heaven. I have even forgotten why I was concerned about the fact that there is no Wi-Fi in the house, no internet at all, and hardly any mobile phone reception either. My soul is singing, and I am thinking I am a master creator. Just 2 days ago, I chatted with 3 friends in a Facebook group saying how we love old houses in idyllic little cobblestone street villages. And guess where I find myself 2 days later? I might have died and gone to heaven, but that's okay. We have coffee and ice cream turning liquid in minutes, with my mum's friends in the garden turning liquid ourselves. I feel too hot, and even without looking into a mirror, I know my face is bright red. I don't care. I'd rather be hot than cold, and Germany is cold and clammy for the most part of the year. I'm not going to complain now. My belly is nearly bursting from drinking so much water, although it feels as if I cannot keep up with replacing the water that in my system that I'm sweating out. In the early evening, we all drive to the neighboring village to eat pizza. The churchyard doubles as parking place, and opposite the church is a pizza place. Hardly any cars are driving past, but the bells ring incessantly to invite people to Mass. They are very loud. When they stop, the bells of the clock ring, and when those stop, the church bells start all over again. No idea how you can pray in peace and quiet in this noise, but Tarani loves it and sings along, playing drum on the table. The rest of us are trying to have a shouted conversation, and often we don't understand each other correctly, which causes much hilarity and laughter. This, combined with good food and the friendly service, make for a wonderful experience. I could sit there for hours and chat, but I feel exhausted. My back is hurting a bit, and I would like to lie down for a few minutes to stretch it out. The children have the same idea. My mom's friends are still going to drive back home to Cologne. They come back to the house with us, pick up their luggage, and leave us in charge of this fairy castle of a house. I drink some more water, then go upstairs and lay down naked. It is too hot for anything else. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm very sensitive to cold. During the colder months, my heating system is my best friend. The sun has set by now, but I'm hot. I love it. I go back down in shorts and t-shirt and have a three-way conversation with Tarani and the cow, which seems to live on the far side of the high garden wall. The cow, Kuh in German, which is spelled K-U-H, calls to us. Moo. Tarani thinks the cow's voice is loud, when she was the only one loving the incessant ringing of church and clock bells. Moo, says the cow once more. Moo, what do you want? Tarani calls back. She doesn't know our voices yet. She wants to connect and introduce herself, I tell her. Oh, that is a very polite cow, Tarani observes. Moo, the cow calls again. Moo, moo, Tarani calls back. See, she says she lives there and you told her we are here for a week visiting. I smile at Tarani. Tarani beams at me. How do you know? Have you learned how to speak Mukuish? I tell her I spent a good part of my childhood in the company of horses and cows. Moo, calls the cow. Moo, moo, I call back with a smile. What did you say? Tarani asks. She asked whether we like it here, and I told her we love it, I explain. Oh yes, very much. I mean, moo. Moo, calls the cow. She's happy we do, I translate. Oh, that is very sweet of her. I've never met such a nice cow, Tarani enthuses. Moo, calls the cow. She said we're a very nice family and she loves to hear us laugh, especially children's laughter. It makes her happy, I tell Tarani. Tarani beams. When we get back home, I will write the cow a postcard with a picture of our garden on it. I'm sure she'd like that. We go inside and we go to bed. Moo, 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 calls Tarani from the door. It means good night in Mukuish. Moo, moo. The answer resonates across the garden wall. Same to you, sweet dreams in Mukuish. She's my friend now, Tarani sighs happily when she lies down in bed. It is nice we made a new friend on our first day. Her eyes close while I stroke her hair and agree with her. It doesn't take long for her to sleep. It was such an exciting day. When everyone else is in bed, I go to sit outside again and drink in the peace of the night. There is a tree with curved leaves, and in the dark some look as if they were fruits. I'm not sure. I didn't notice in the daylight. There was so much to explore on ground level. Maybe there are really fruits, apples or pears starting to ripen. They are still green. I like the idea of that. It brings abundance to mind. Ich bin live, Schatz. The garden wall to the street beside me and the house wall at my back are clad in ivy and other vines I don't know the names of. The leaves rustle. Probably mice live there. I like to think those are little mice living there. It feels warm and friendly and lively. Or maybe the fairies are having a ball. I always thought of fairies and elves being day creatures, but what do I know? I'll have to ask my fairy friend about that. She's a human incarnation of the fairy realm. Even people who live a totally mundane 3D life say she reminds them of a fairy. She'll know. I'll feel as if everything I feel in that moment will come true within a very short span of time. Just like that rocking chair. And I was even offered it. Shame there is not enough room to take it back in the car, so it will have to remain here. Then again, I can always come back to my own little private magical fairy heaven. As I sit there, listening to the sounds of the night, I hear people talk and laugh a bit further down the road. Neighbors or friends in this close-knit community, these two terms are probably exchangeable, are having a jolly get-together. It makes me smile how everyone suddenly falls silent when the overloud ring of a mobile phone alerts them. Even in this historical environment, modern technology has its influence. I hope not too much so. After all, the only running things here are water and sweat. And happily playing children, but not at this time of night. A cricket chirps once. At least to me, it sounds like a cricket. I'm not a nature expert. I think of Walt Disney's version of Pinocchio and smile when I remember the little cricket portraying Pinocchio's conscience. Such an endearing little fellow. I'm just happy and at peace. I go back inside, lie back down on my bed and think about all that has happened today. All the smiles and laughter, my beautiful two daughters' faces looking at me through the eyes of love. I feel very blessed, and I am grateful for this feeling. Life truly is abundant. There is beauty all around us, even when we are not in such an idyllic location. You just have to see and appreciate. Look through the eyes of love. I close my eyes and do my breathing exercises. Then I start to channel, recording it on my MP3 player, which I have brought exactly for this purpose. I can channel better with my eyes closed or typing. It's a newly acquired skill, at least in this form. In the form of verbal messages, either directed at myself, other individuals, or to the general public. Something else I'm deeply grateful for and appreciative of. I think of my friend who not only taught me a technique that works for me, but who, through her guidance and teachings, has given me the courage to go past my self-doubts and self-imposed limitations far enough to get to this point. Although point is perhaps the wrong word. It sounds like a goal attained, whereas in reality it is a process in constant motion. I sent her a mental smile charged with a lot of deep felt love from my heart. This reminds me of my other friends I feel closest to, and I include them in the smile love energy mail out. I put a physical smile on my face, which ups my happy level another notch or two. Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice comes to mind when Jane Bennet says, "How can I bear such happiness?" Well, I can, easily. I wallow in it. Give me more, keep it coming. My inner me is cheering in sheer abundant exuberance. She is always wearing a flower vine or ivy wreath. At the moment, it is wine vines, fitting for the occasion. After all, we are in vineyard country. She always sits cross-legged, but her butt is lifting off the floor as she throws her arms up towards me, and she nearly topples over forward in full swing. Nearly, but not quite. After all, she's perfect. She's me. I love that. I love her exuberant joy too. She is always happy, joyful, and exuberant. Even when she imparts serious wisdom, she says joy is love, is life, is divinity. You have but one sole purpose in your human life, and that is to be happy. She means that the really deep down to the core and from the heart kind of happy. The rest is just details. Whatever floats your boat, or as Abraham Hicks would term it, gets you into the vortex. Gets you into the vortex. But that's just language for the same feeling, underlying energy that triggers this feeling. If you choose to feel this way about it, that is where I do. My inner me gives me a hug and tells me she is so happy we have finally connected. Not that we weren't connected before, we always were, but it took me a while to become consciously aware of it. The well-worn sentence, I am my best friend, has taken on a whole new meaning. It is not a hostile, world-defying stance of rebellion. It has morphed into a deep truth for me. There is a German church canon that says, to be happy little is needed, and he who is happy is a king. To most this may be an empty phrase or an easy little song to sing in two voices at service, but whoever composed it knew that what he was talking about. And I know too. As I grow quiet, I suddenly realize this village has a bell-ringing clock too. How did I miss that before? It is midnight and it chimes 3 times. I have no idea what kind of Morse code they have to make 3 chimes count as 0 or 12. I'm not going to stay awake another hour or two to try and figure it out either. I'm happy to just be and slowly drift into sleep. So, I hope you enjoyed that, and if you like, you can get the book, and which is the link is at the top, so you can just click on it and get the book as you like. And I'll see you in a bit for the next part. Okay, lots of love and thank you for watching.